Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we got a great episode in 10mm. We're going to be testing some double tap ammunition in our pistol and our rifle. Should be a good time. Let's get to shooting. Today we're going to be talking about a loading from double tap ammunition. It's called their controlled expansion. Taking a look at the hollow point here. Kind of a cool little round here. And we're going to be shooting it out of our Smith & Wesson guns. We're going to be shooting it out of our Carry Comp. That's the new version that just came out. It's a 4-inch. Has about a 3.5-inch barrel. And then it's recessed. And you can see that that compensator is built in there. It's really not like a porting because there's no rifling where the port has been cut into the barrel. Think of it more like a comp, 3.5-inch gun with a comp on it. And we're going to be shooting it out of the Smith & Wesson FPC, which is a folding pistol carbine, and it has a 16-inch barrel. Now, please bear with the gunfire here around me today. It is a Saturday. I couldn't get out when I try to get out when there's a little bit less gunfire. There's just going to be a lot more. I'll try to edit the sounds out. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it makes my voice go in and out of volume. That's what that is. All right. Well, with that said, we have a series on this where we're testing these two guns in the 16-inch and the 4-inch or 3.5-inch variety and just give you a look at what these things do. Now, I have this concept that I want to carry both of these together with me in sort of a get-home scenario where you might want to have something in your backpack, something concealed on you, and having the ability to have magazines that are compatible between your rifle and your pistol. That's important. Also, I want there to be some kind of benefit when I go to a rifle. If the rifle performs the same as my pistol rounds, what the heck is worth it with the extra 16 inches? Of course, yes, you can get a little bit more better aim, better accuracy, more stability with the platform when you're using it. But I'm hoping that we get some velocity increases when we go from the pistol to the rifle. And in other rounds, we've seen that. In other rounds, we haven't. So we'll be putting that to the test with this double tap ammunition. Now, I'm going to be shooting into some gel, and I have a contraption set up. We're going to shoot 2 layers of t-shirt, 2 layers of denim, then 2 inches of ballistic gel. Then we have a 1/4 inch of medium density fiberboard and then more ballistic gel. That's the only kind of test I'm going to be shooting in both of these today, just to see how it performs. We should get excellent performance. I'd be shocked if we don't get expansion out of this ammunition that is generally considered probably some full loads. Now, these are 200 grain. I've been doing a lot of 180 grain. We'll see what that does out of the rifle and the pistol and for comparison. Well, that's enough yapping. Let's get to shooting. Okay, now one thing I forgot to mention is that for all of my magazines, I have put in the plus 10% extra power Wolf mag springs. I found especially for the pistol, I had to do that. For the FPC, I didn't have to do that, but they both seem to run just fine. We're going to be continuing our testing with that in this video series. And then I also have a 22-pound recoil spring in here. Up first, we're going to turn on the slow motion camera. We've got the 200 grain bullet. And here we go. All right, let's go see what it did. 1078 was what we got. That's a little low. I was expecting a little bit more power. Okay, we got a pretty interesting result. This is the first time in our series where we've been testing the ammunition in 10mm expanding ammunition, and we got no expansion. Let me pull this round out real quick. This is what we got. That controlled expansion resulted in no expansion. Looks like a little bit of deformation happened, maybe just a tiny bit of opening. I'm guessing that clothing and maybe even the medium density fiberboard messed that up. You can see this is our shot in here. It's not particularly impressive from 10mm. And you look like, wow, Trigger Bar, that's a big wound track. Well, that is just the bullet tumbling through there. So that's why it didn't expand as it started tumbling. I don't know what it was doing in the first couple of inches. Looks like it didn't do much there, but that's disappointing. All right, why don't we take a look at our rifle? And it did get down all the way out to about 21 inches, but that's because it didn't expand. All right, let's shoot it out of the rifle now. Okay, well, we have the rifle set up, that 200 grain controlled expansion. Let's see if it does a little better out of the rifle. Maybe that short barrel just isn't a good thing for it. Yeah, that did a little bit better. 1250 was the velocity. Ah, dang it. And I didn't capture it. I forgot to turn on my slow motion camera. Always something. All right, well, it got quite a bit more expansion. It went about the same distance, which is crazy, just a little bit less, but definitely more three-dimensional type wounding in there, spiraling, those types of things. Did better at that. Again, got up to the velocity of 1250, made quite a bit of a bigger hole in our medium density fiberboard, as you can see here, from the pistol to the rifle. So out of the rifle, it's getting sufficient velocity. Out of the pistol, it's not. So that's one of the things that we're checking for, is that are we getting, with that short barrel, do we get enough barrel length to get into the design parameters of what the people that are designing these rounds are going to get? Now, for kicks and giggles, I'm going to shoot one more into this just because I forgot to turn on that camera. Here's the projectile. Got pretty decent expansion. Almost the point where it was ready to start shearing off and losing some of those petals. So kind of an interesting shape as you take a look at that. That's crazy. Very cool. We got 0.722. It's really an odd shape. 0.7, 0.73, 0.72, something like that. Okay, well, this is our second attempt with the rifle. Hopefully we get a shot that we can record. I'll start the preview now, or I'll start the slow motion camera now. And here we go. Yeah, we got it in there. Let's go down, check it out. What's interesting is we did get some fracturing more with that. So it came in here and we had rounds going, or parts of it peeling off and going in different spots. So then this is our jacketed hollow point. I said in the previous one that we're starting to get some jacket separation, and that's what we are with that 16-inch barrel. So with the 3.5-inch, 4-inch barrel, we're not going fast enough. With the 16-inch barrel, we're starting to go a little too fast for what it is. So that's kind of interesting results. We're starting to get some fragmenting going on with that bullet, and that can happen as you go up in speed. We had 1284 was our velocity on that one. But yeah, good results there. Just not great with the pistol. Okay, we have these 200 grainers from DoubleTap. We've got our chronograph, our Garmin 0C1. It's a lab radar. Again, bear with the gunfire in the background. Hopefully it's being edited out. If not, my apologies. And if it sounds crappy editing, that's why. So for our session summary, we had a min of 1056, an average of 1095, max of 1135, extreme spread of 79. It's not great. Standard deviation of 25, kinetic energy of 532. Is 10 millimeter, but it's on the low end of 10 millimeter. So, yeah, that's why it's not expanding. Is this thing is definitely built for a longer barrel. Clearly, is what the designers had in mind. Now we have the rifle, the FPC. See how it does. All right. For our session summary, we had a min of 1275, an average of 1290, max of 1301, extreme spread of 25, and standard deviation of 9.4. So a little bit better loading out of that rifle. Sorry, someone turning in. Average kinetic energy of 739, which is great, but in some of the other loadings, like Grizzly and even Buffalo Bill, we're close to 1,000 kinetic energy out of this rifle. So take that for what it's worth. Let's move forward to a little bit of accuracy. Okay, we're back at 10 yards now. which is where I like to do my testing for the 10 millimeter, but it also exposes a little bit of my shooting. So what we like to do with this is just test the gun a little bit, get a little more rounds in it, test for reliability, see how I can shoot. Did the rounds start tumbling? Those are other things we can find when we shoot into paper. So that's really what we're curious about here. Turn on the first person shooter glasses and see how we do. Boy, I did not shoot it well. I don't think that's the ammo, but let's go down and see it. There is a curious mark in there. Let's go investigate that further. Okay, that's just god-awful shooting at 10 yards. But at any rate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I was worried about. I don't think it was tumbling. It's just curious. Let's just see what we see underneath it. Kind of looks like it was tumbling. I don't know, maybe these bullets aren't really stabilizing in this 3.5-inch barrel, which is also pretty curious. Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing that we can learn a little bit. Now, see, look, this one tore a little bit on the side too. Is that just tearing of the paper? It could be, right? It could just be with the wood catching behind it. It could be nothing. Okay, next up we have the FPC standing back here at 10 yards. See how we do with that. They're all going left. I think that's more of a zero or an issue with this particular ammo. Again, not a great group. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were the ones here. That was from that crap show that happened over there. Not a bad little group, right? Within a couple of inches of each other. Sure, bench rest, whatever. I'm sure it's more accurate than that. And we don't see any tumbling in the rifle. None of these odd marks, but also we didn't really hit on the wood like we did on this. There's nothing behind this spot here. So curious. Today we had a good time with our DoubleTap ammunition and our 4-inch Smith & Wesson Carry Comp version, which is more like a 3.5-inch, and our 16-inch barrel. What we learned is I don't think this is a go with that 4-inch, 3.5-inch barrel. And remember, everyone, when I did the test between the 4-inch Smith & Wesson and this Carry Comp Smith & Wesson, I saw no noticeable difference in terms of velocity between the two. Now, that could just be that this particular model or the gun that I have has slightly tighter tolerances in the chamber, so we get a little bit extra velocity. But so I would consider that this is still a valid test for any of you that have the 4-inches out there, 4-inch models out there. So with that said, I think it's been pretty instructive. I'm not sure this is one that I'm going to carry in this combo rifle. I don't think it works particularly well with the pistol. Seemed to do just fine with the rifle. It's a very acceptable round. We're not getting the great energy that we get with other rounds in 10 millimeter out of the rifle, 700 energy foot-pounds versus 1,000 energy foot-pounds. So I'd consider this okay, but probably not up to what other rounds are available out there. But I'd love to hear in the comments below. Y'all DoubleTap fans, what's your favorite ammunition in 10 millimeter from them? Please put it in the comments below. If there's other 10 millimeter self-defense rounds you're interested in seeing in these tests, let me know about it. Hope everyone has a great week, and let's get to shooting.
From pistols to rifles, we'll take on the best. Review each weapon, put them to the test. With revolvers and shotguns, we'll break it all down. The Second Amendment protects from the crown. Living for freedom, defending our rights. We got in our hearts, we'll rise to new heights. From the rain to the woods, we're ready to roll. Trigger by philosopher, heart and soul. In the land of the brave, we stand tall and free. Preparing for tomorrow, prepared you will be. Yeah. Conceal, carry wisdom, good.